to Collide Online.
Hi! Okay, go ahead.
I'm Amber Seiler, and this is my co-host, David Seiler.
And we are in our basement.
Yeah. Okay, so last week was spring break.
Spring break!
Woo! Hope everybody put on their bathing suits and went swimming. Just kidding, because it snowed.
Snow.
That was weird.
That was a shocker, waking up to snow.
It wasn't a shocker for me because I was awake all night long and I watched it snow, but
Right.
you were asleep.
Me, I was asleep.
Yeah.
So, hopefully that was our last snow, but you never know.
You really never know, especially now. It's 2020. It's the year of crazy, so
It is the year
you
of
just
crazy.
never know.
True story. So, last week we had a lot of things going on during spring break to hopefully keep you not too bored. And one of the things that we did was
Nailed it or failed it challenge.
Nailed It or Failed It challenge. So, we had a whopping 2 people contribute to that
Good
challenge.
for you, girls. Good for you.
Everyone else, you're lazy. Or you're terrible at art or baking.
Or they just didn't have any supplies. Who knows?
Or they just didn't care. And they were lazy.
I mean, there's that.
Anyway, positive, negative, whatever. So, those of you who did it, you both
One.
You both won! You nailed it!
You nailed it for sure.
You did an awesome job. So there will be a gift card coming to each of you. 1 gift card each, not one that you'd have to share.
Right.
So it'll probably be coming either to your house or to your parents' email. So tell your parents, check your email! And if they don't have it, they stole it. And we had already sent it.
Yeah.
Probably not true. But anyway. So check out this video. This is a this or that. You have 3 options. Type up your responses. You don't have a ton of time, so do it quick.
Quick.
And we want to know what you guys have to say. See you back in a minute. 1 minute and 36 seconds.
To be precise.
To be precise. I might be wrong though. Welcome back and welcome to 3-Year-Old Pictionary.
It's 1 minute and 32 seconds since we last saw
It's
you.
1 minute and 32 seconds.
Not 36.
It's probably been 36
You were
now.
wrong.
Alright. So this is Pictionary done by 3-year-olds. They're the ones that drew it. It's not Pictionary that was done 3 years ago.
Okay, so when was this done?
I think it was done 3 weeks ago.
Okay, cool.
I mean, I told Amber that I bought the pictures from 3-year-olds in the park with candy,
That's creepy.
but that wasn't actually true.
Okay,
I would
good.
never do that.
Good.
I would never do that. Alright, let us get started with the first one. Remember, there are prizes. There is candy that will come your way. Not in the park for your pictures, but...
So, when you're commenting in the chat, my suggestion would be to say which question you're answering,
Right.
so that we know where the cutoff is.
Say like number 1A or number 2B. That's not giving you answers, but
Right.
that way we'll know what you're actually answering.
Correct.
Alright, cool. First question.
Question number 1. All right, let's see. Look at this. A vampire, B, an angry cow, or C,
Calthus, Sunstrider, Master of the Burning Legion. It's intense.
Did you say legion or legion? Because legion and legion are 2 different things.
I don't know what I said.
Okay.
Either way.
All right, so comment.
Get your answer down.
Get them in.
Comment. Moving on in 3,
2,
1.
and the answer is
Vampire.
vampire.
It's missing the teeth.
Obviously.
I was hoping for the Master of the Burning, whatever you said it was.
Are these his hands?
I think these are. He
Or
has
a
like
tail?
a little tail too, I think.
Okay.
Well, anyway. Next one.
All right.
yeah.
Okay. A crow looking for trash to eat. B, a T-Rex with abnormal stick-like growths on his snout. Or C, a yawning deer.
I could yawn right now.
I know.
Yeah. What time is it? Midnight?
Oh gosh, it's late.
No, it's only like 8
I
o'clock.
don't know why my hair keeps just this one spot.
Alright, you have 3,
2.
1, and the answer is a crow looking for trash to eat.
Okay.
I kind of saw the yawning deer a little bit more, but
There's no trash, but he's looking for it.
he's looking for it.
He's got his eyes to the ground.
He's searching, yeah.
He's searching.
So the next one we have A,
A zombie rabbit.
B, a happy bat.
Or C, this is you, Daddy.
This is you, Daddy.
I can't wait.
The son goes, what is this? This is you, Daddy. Oh. Looks kind of like a mummy.
Oliver will hand you that picture and say, this is you, Daddy.
And I'll be very proud, but most likely embarrassed.
Answer
By the way that looks.
in 3,
2.
1.
The answer is a happy bat. Then it says, no, the smile.
Note the smile.
Alright, question 4. We have a 3-horned goat.
Grondark, Lizard King of the North.
Grondark, Lizard King of the North.
Or a dancing gecko.
The dancing gecko.
He's dancing.
Oh yeah. That's kind of like Oliver's dance.
It looks a lot like Oliver, actually. If Oliver were green and had a unicorn.
Yeah, well. It has a tail too.
I want it to be Grondark.
I want it to be Grondark too.
Alright.
Let's see if it's Grondark.
Who is it?
The answer is
A dancing gecko. Wow.
and he's mid-jig.
Nice set.
So his
That's awesome.
his dance is going. Next one.
A friendly centipede, a superhero cat fighting bad guys, or
The coronavirus strain.
I mean, 3 weeks ago you said?
3 weeks
It's
ago.
probably corona.
Probably.
I feel like if we asked a 3-year-old to draw what coronavirus looked like, they would know and they would draw this.
It's either the coronavirus or a superhero cat fighting bad guys. It doesn't necessarily look like a cat unless it's all like frizzed up.
Alright.
Anyway,
3,
2.
1.
The answer is a superhero cat,
It's a cat.
fighting bad guys.
It's a cat.
And it says
Arms or fur? Hashtag
arms or fur.
art.
Hashtag art. So agree. Next one.
A pterodactyl, a dragon who's also a fireman,
The dragon fireman.
or a rabbit relaxing in a hammock.
Chilling in the hammock.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can definitely see the balance. He's like trying to get into the hammock and trying not to fall out.
Yeah.
That's me every time I get in the hammock.
True. Alright.
Alright, answer in 3,
2.
1. Correct answer is a dragon who's also a fireman. The dragon fireman. Fireman dragon.
That sounds like something a 3-year-old would come up with.
I think maybe the dragon caused the fire though.
Those are really odd combinations.
Definitely not going to stop it by breathing.
No, that's true.
Alright, next one.
Some sort of quail,
A T-Rex named Scott.
or just a plain old duck.
Just a plain old duck.
I'm gonna go with a duck.
I want it to be a T-Rex named Scott.
That sounds like something a 3-year-old would say.
Totally.
So,
And they would have a whole story behind them that would
sure,
take
Scott, the T-Rex.
20 minutes to tell.
Obviously.
Yeah, Scott the T-Rex and the dragon fireman. Alright, let's see the answer in
3,
2.
1.
Answer is just a plain old duck.
Aww. I didn't know that ducks
Quack, quack.
actually had arms though. Like,
Yeah, it just has little arms. They're going for it.
Interesting.
It's a T-Rex duck. Number 8.
a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle drinking a smoothie. I can see that. I see that.
Mommy drinking her coffee.
Or a mummy drinking.
Mommy drinking her coffee. Yeah.
Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible 3.
Tom Cruise chilling in Mission Impossible 3, drinking his smoothie.
Does Tom Cruise ever drink in a movie?
I don't.
In Mission Impossible 3.
Does Tom Cruise ever go to the bathroom in a movie? Does anyone ever go to the bathroom in a movie?
Yeah.
These are thoughts. These are very important thoughts to have.
All right, next.
Answer is Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible 3. It's a kid's movie, right?
No.
No. Number 9.
The sun blasting rays of death on unsuspecting beachgoers.
A creepy octopus giving a hug.
Or Spider-Man.
I really hope it's the sun blasting rays of death on
He's too
unsuspecting
happy. It's too happy of a sun.
The sun is happy about blasting those rays.
Well, the guy does look distressed.
He
It
does.
could be Spider and Man.
Spider and man. Quite possibly, because that's the
Yeah.
trail that becomes...
The trail. Are you talking about a web?
No, that's like the process from becoming the spider
I see.
to Spider-Man.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay.
Yeah, the web.
Oh.
The answer is the sun blasting rays of death on unsuspecting beachgoers.
Yeah.
Climate change is real, y'all. Yes, I said y'all. Get up.
Y'all.
Y'all. Alright, the next one. We have a king holding hands with his best friend who happens to be a bee.
An alien taking a guy to be probed. That's
Hope
interesting. Or a huge fly whacking a man with a fly swatter.
Yes!
Yeah.
That's so what I want it to be. It's like a fly getting revenge on the man.
Revenge of the flies.
Revenge of the flies.
Oh, flies are so annoying.
They are. Maybe it's like for every time that someone tried to whack him with a fly swatter, he whacked that person with a fly swatter.
Oh my goodness.
That'd be tragic. Correct answer is an alien taking a guy to be probed. Oh, the imagination of 3-year-olds.
It really...
Alright, if there is a tie, here is the tiebreaker. We have President Donald Trump.
A Yeti singing opera or a Batman with a beard.
Batman with a beard.
It's not really a beard, it's more like a soul patch.
Yeah, a little soul patch. But then the mouth looks open, so maybe it is a Yeti singing an opera. I don't think it has enough hair to be Donald Trump.
Wait, Donald Trump doesn't even... I mean,
But he has like the comb over.
that's true. But does
Well,
a
it's not
3-year-old
really.
know that?
Probably not. Probably not.
3,
2, 1. The answer is Batman with a beard.
Oh, Batman. He's a little out of shape.
He is very out of shape.
He just needs some.
And he just has a little soul patch there.
I mean,
That was like a late 90s, early 2000 thing that was super popular.
yeah.
So, for all of you who weren't alive yet, now you know.
Now you know.
Now you know. Alright, come back in just a minute, like 30 seconds.
You don't want to be wrong again, so...
I don't want to be wrong again.
So just don't leave.
So 10 seconds to 2 minutes, somewhere in there, probably closer to 2 minutes. Alright, 10 seconds. Alright, bye. A couple of months ago, before we became quarantined inside our houses, we started a series called Choose Your Own Adventure. And I want to continue that. I want to finish that up this week and next week. You may be thinking, I'm quarantined inside of my house. What is an adventure about that? Most people that I've talked to have said, I'm just bored. I just don't know what to do. So I know you're not thinking, quarantine, yes, adventure. You're not thinking about that, but this is very different. To give you a little bit of a review of what we said in the first couple weeks, because I'm sure you don't remember what we talked about at Collide 2 months ago. The first week, we said knowing God is an adventure. It's not a formula. Sometimes we think of our walk with Christ and we think, these are the steps I have to take. These are the things that I have to do. And if I do these things, I'm good. Or if I do these things, I have a good relationship with Christ. And if you miss one of those steps, then something's wrong. But that's just not the case. It's not the same for everyone in how we come to know Christ or how we grow in our relationship with Him and in our walk with Him. So it's an adventure. It's not a formula. We need to figure out the ways for ourselves on how we can best connect with God. The second week we talked about how important other people are on our journeys, and that the relationships that we have are... What are you smiling at?
I can hear Waffle walking around upstairs.
Oh, yeah. We're in the basement. The relationships that we have are a choice. They're not an accident. The relationships we have, the people that we have met, our friends, our family members, they're not an accident. God has placed them in our lives for a reason. So tonight we're going to talk about a third thing, and that's all about learning how to share our own faith stories. You may be sitting here and you're like, I don't have a faith story. Maybe you say, I don't even know how I feel about God or if I even believe in God. You still have a story because you're still on a journey. You're on a journey in your life, a story that has brought you from where you were when you were younger to where you are now. And your story is going to continue in how you grow and develop later on. You may be saying, I don't have a story to share of how my life changed when I came to know Christ because I did it when I was really young, and it's not like you were a terrible kid when you were like 5 years old. Your parents may disagree, but you can't have that like drastic story that you feel like you need to have. But the fact is, all of us have a story, and it's important for us to be able to understand who God is and how God has brought us through our story and through our journey. So I love different movie stories and even some video games that give you a great story and character development. There's a lot of those that I love, but I really can't pick just one specific one. Amber, do you have any kind of characters or stories from books or movies that you really like?
Well, for pretty much anybody who knows me, you know that I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. I made David wear his Gryffindor shirt, and I have the Ravenclaw shirt on, and I have my wand. But, so I mean...
Kind of a nerd, all right.
I'm a little bit of a nerd, it's fine. So, yes, Harry Potter. There's a lot of characters and a lot of books that I love, but Harry Potter is kind of stuck with me. I just love the story behind it, and as you're saying, the character development. Harry himself might not be my favorite character, if I'm being honest, but...
Who is your favorite character?
I don't know, maybe probably Luna. I just love her, and I love her story, but anyways, it doesn't matter. But, yeah, so the thing I love about Harry's story is that in book one, for those of you who haven't read the books, like, they're different than the movies, but book one
They're not the same?
They're not the same.
Huh.
I mean, they follow the same
Basic
story.
idea,
Yeah. In book one came out when I was probably in 5th or 6th grade, and at the time I wasn't allowed to read it, because witchcraft. But anyway, some of you might feel the same way, and that's fine. But yes, so I didn't read it until I was probably, I don't know,
25.
No, 13 maybe. And some of the movies had already come out at that point. But I started reading all the books through, and when you first start to read Harry Potter, Harry is this little scrawny child living in a cupboard under the stairs in his aunt and uncle's house, basically. And he's a nobody. He feels like a nobody. He feels like he doesn't have a story. He thinks his parents died in a car crash, and he doesn't have a story at all. And you would never guess that even just a few chapters later, he's gonna find out that he's a wizard. And this like propels him on this huge journey to the end. And you see him grow, not just like as a person, but also because of what we talked about in weeks past, having friendship. It wasn't last week, but
Right.
The friendships that really help him along. So by the end of the story, you see this massive, beautiful thing that's been woven together that he definitely would not have guessed would be his life when he was just 11 years old.
Part of the magic of that story, and part of the magic of your story, is you don't know along the way how it's going to end. You're able to see in Harry Potter or Star Wars or the Marvel Avengers things, you see kind of how the character develops. You're able to see some of the past, and as you go, you'll see their future and how they grow, how they change, and your story is the same way.
And also, in each of those stories, you can look at it and look back and see, oh wow, so that's why that happened. It's
Right.
like, oh, it makes you realize something significant from the past that is relevant now.
And there's a lot of times from my life when looking back, there's experiences that I've had, good and bad, that I now realize, oh, that's why that happened, or that's how my life has changed.
That's how I got here.
Normally for the better, like that's how I got here. That's
Yeah.
how, good things happen, and that's really the plan that God had. That's amazing. So what is your story about? Your story is about who you are. It's about where you've come from, where you're going, and how you've discovered God in the midst of it all. And maybe you haven't discovered God. Maybe you don't know. Maybe you don't believe yet. But still, the journey and the story that you're on is what is bringing you to the point where you are. And it may bring you to the point where you do know Him. And you can look back and you say, oh, it's these experiences, it's these people that have brought me to that point. So the power of stories is also woven throughout the Bible. There's stories throughout. It's not just a list of do's and don'ts. There's a lot of stories about divine beings speaking life into existence. There's underdogs and misfits. There's wars. There's kings. There's prophets. There's Jesus coming, who is a healer on earth. He has followers. He's being attacked. You have followers of Jesus later on who's preaching, and they're thrown in prison. There's just so many different stories going on. A lot of action, like more than you would ever imagine. So Amber's going to read Mark chapter 5, verses 1 through 20. It's a lot of verses, but this is an amazing story that we want you guys to hear.
Then they came to the other side of the sea, to the region of the Gerasenes.
Just the region of the giraffes, it's fine.
Giraffes. To the region of the giraffes. As soon as he got out of the boat, a man with an unclean spirit came out of the tombs and met him. That sounds terrifying. He lived in the tombs. No one was able to restrain him anymore, even with chains, because he often had been bound with shackles and chains, but had snapped off the chains and smashed the shackles. No one was strong enough to subdue him, and always, night and day, he was crying out among the tombs and in the mountains and cutting himself with stones. When he saw Jesus from a distance, he ran and knelt down before him, and he cried out with a loud voice, What do you have to do with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? I beg you, before God, don't torment me. For he had told him, Come out of the man, you unclean spirit. What is your name? He asked him. My name is Legion, he answered him, because we are many. And he kept begging him not to send them out of the region. Now a large herd of pigs was there feeding on the hillside. The demons begged him, Send us to the pigs so we may enter them. And he gave them permission. Then the unclean spirits came out and entered the pigs, and the herd of about 2,000 rushed down the steep bank into the sea and drowned there. The men who tended them ran off and reported it to the town and the countryside. And people went to see what had happened. They came to Jesus and saw the man who had been demon-possessed by the legion sitting there, dressed and in his right mind. And they were afraid. The eyewitnesses described to them what had happened to the demon-possessed man and told about the pigs. Then they began to beg him to leave their region. As he was getting into the boat, the man who had been demon-possessed kept begging him to be with him, but he would not let him. Instead, he told them, "Go back to your own people and report to them how much the Lord has done for you and how he had mercy on you." So he went out and began to proclaim in the Decapolis how much Jesus had done for him, and they were all amazed.
So this is a crazy story. You have this man who has, thousands of demons inside of him, and he's cutting himself. He can't be chained up. He lived like in caves and
Tombs.
in tombs. Like this is again like just a crazy story.
Sounds like a horror movie.
And Jesus changed his life. He sent all the demons away into pigs, and the man is like, all right, have a new life. I'm ready. Like, Jesus, let's go. and Jesus said, hey, I have to leave, but you need to go and you need to tell people. He's saying, this is your story. The man didn't have time to get cleaned up and have 5 years of his life back to figure out who he was or what was going on. It was like, okay, his life is basically starting over again, and Jesus says, go out, tell your story, tell people what has happened. The thing we need to understand is our story is about progress. It's not about us, telling our story at the end of our lives. It's about us saying, this is, where I am. This is how God has brought me to this, or this is how my experiences have taught me and brought me that. Looking back, I can see how my relationship with God has changed. I can see how bad experiences in my life when I was younger and even when I was an adult have brought me to where I need to be. And, in the moment, I would never say, hey, let me have this terrible job with a boss that hates me and that fires me and hires his son instead. I would never have asked for that. But, those experiences have brought me along the way to where I need to be, and it's really all of the experiences from the past that have brought me here and have brought me with you guys and have brought me into a marriage with Amber and with our son. This whole journey is a part of God's plan. And when we think about our stories and where God has brought us and where we have come from, that's an amazing thing. It's something that we can share with people, and you're able to share hey, I may be a Christian, but my life isn't all together. This is kind of the journey that I'm on. It's not just sharing what's happened before, but it's sharing the journey that you're on and where you are. So I challenge you guys this week, take some time. I know a lot of you have said, we've asked how are things going, and you're like, I'm just bored. While you're bored, take some time to pray. Think back on your life and say, what is my story?
Yeah.
How has God brought me to where I am? Where does God want to take me? Where do I want to go? If you are looking ahead in your life, 5 years from now, just ask, where would I want to be? Not in the sense of, how much money do I want to have, but, where do I want to be in my relationship with God? What do I want to have changed about my knowledge and understanding of Him? Mm-hmm. I encourage you to write this down. That will help you remember it, and we'd love it if you share it with me or your leader. They would love to hear these things, not so they can post it in video and embarrass you or any of that, but just so they can know, hey, where are you? So let me pray for us, and then we will go to small groups, and you guys can talk about this a little bit more. Let's pray. Dear God, I thank you so much for this night. I thank you for your word. I thank you for who you are, and I thank you for the stories that you have brought us on. God, I pray that we will just continue to grow in our walk with you, and that you'll just show us what our story is and really the story that you have for us in the future as well. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Good night, y'all.